machine drawing 1. So here we basically draw drawings, orthographic projections of different machine elements with the help of section or without the help of section. But the thing is here, already I shared the first topic I will discuss here, that is Cotard joint. Probably you have seen that material. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have you gone through that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we read.
Okay. Now I am sharing this document with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So before I start the formal topic on Cotard joint, what I want to do, I want to show this drawing. The drawing is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
So this drawing we will draw in our class. But the thing is, from this drawing, when one drawing is applied to you, from that, can you read the drawing? Is it possible to read the drawing? From this drawing, can you say how many components are there in this drawing? This is a basic concept of engineering drawing. So
Two.
how to identify numbers of components or number of materials there in the joint?
So there are two,
Sir,
I
is it
think.
three?
So three
Basically,
components.
there are three components. Okay, fine. So two components easily you may identify. That is this one, this one component, another component this one, because the hatch patterns here are different. Understand? So easily identifying the hatch patterns, you may identify the components. So easily you may identify two different components. Also at the meat you can see another component. This is a third component, but this third component is not hatched or there is no section line. Why? Why there is no section line? But from the concept of section, you know, when we cut one object and there are materials, then we should put the section or hatch lines. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So when I am cutting one component, there should be hatch lines. But I am saying here the meat component or this third component, there is no hatch line. So there is no hatch line. So there are some exceptions to provide the hatch lines, like say bolt, rivet, this type of cutter. This component basically is cutter, one pin. Okay. So these components are not cut. So when we put the cutting plane, so in section we need to provide one cutting plane. That cutting plane is basically imaginary cutting plane. So we have to pass that cutting plane through one object and we have to remove one part, not physically, but we have to visualize this object and we have to take the projection of that component. Then only you can draw that object in section. And that cutting plane, when we are passing through that cutting plane, depending on the position of the cutting plane, we can say one section may be full section, half section, or revolve section. So there are different types of sections. Here also you see two things you may identify. So from these two components, if you see this hatch pattern or hatch lines are there up to the center line. So this center line is basically the line of symmetry. So above this and below this, there should be same features. Now you see we have put the section lines above the center line. Now is it full section or half section? Can you say? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes. So can you comment on whether this section is full section or half section?
Is it half section? Because
Half
the
section.
hatching half section.
If it is full, then hatch line should come up to this. The whole part, if I consider this component, this left hand side component, this hatch line should come up to this to make it full section. So we have not cut the component with full section, but we have cut the component with half section. That means this quarter part, maybe this part, if we follow my cursor, maybe this quarter part, we have removed this quarter part and we have taken the projection of this component. This quarter part may be this one or this one. Okay. Now another thing, you see, if it is half section also, here you see I did not cut that component up to this end of this component, end of this left hand side component. I have restricted my hatch lines up to this, and I have restricted the hatch line using one zigzag line, and up to this only I have put the section lines. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
up to this we have put the section line. So this component, the left hand side component is starting, though it is not the end, but in this drawing we have started the left hand side component from this position up to this position, where we have ended our hatch lines for left hand side component. So this is not full section, it is basically half section. Also in half section we have done another thing, we have restricted our hatch lines up to this, not for the full one. Generally, for rod type component, is basically one rod type component, we do not put this rod type component in section. But if it is required to show the internal details, sometimes we need to put the component in section. Here we have used one zigzag line, we have restricted that hatch line up to this. This basically we may call this type of section as local section also. Locally you have tried to show the details, internal details, and we have not cut the whole body. So this may be another example of a local section, or you may call this section as local section also. Local also half section. Local section may be your full section. But here we have cut only the half part and we have shown using one zigzag line. We have restricted the hatch line using zigzag line, and this is basically local section. For this component also, the right hand side components, we have restricted the hatch lines up to this. Also you see, here also we have put the hatch lines. Here also we have put the hatch lines. Why? Because we do not know the exact length of this rod, extended rod. So, but their extension is there, extension of this rod is there, but we do not want to show the full length of the rod because we do not know the dimension of it, but we want to represent that rod here, and for that purpose we have cut this object up to this only. We have shown the component up to this or up to this. You may draw, you see, when you will find the dimension of this object, you cannot find any dimension for this one because this extension I do not know the exact dimension. So arbitrarily we have taken one length, and there we have shown this break line, we have drawn using this break line. So here also we have cut the object. So when we have cut the object here, okay, we need to provide hatch lines. Okay, another thing is, from this side or from this side, if I take the projection, also when I will take the side view, if I take left hand side view or right hand side view, there should be a side view. So when we will represent this component in side view, since this is the card section or card component, so we can also see the card material. So that is why in the side view also you can see hatch lines. Do you understand this part?
Sir, yes, sir. But one thing,
Yes, sir.
sir, we
Yes.
have not cutted the parts in evenly, right? I mean, we have just cut the parts, not any evenly. If we have cutted the parts evenly, then we could not see the hatch line.
Yes, generally you have to show like this only. Otherwise, it is not possible. Suppose you are drawing one, say, farm line, one straight line from here to here. Then
Then
that
only
is
it
the
will be
end.
even.
Yes, that is the end of the line, end of the component. Then in your drawing, because drawing is one language, you need to communicate with others using this graphical representation. So there also you have to follow the rule. If I draw one farm line from this point to this point, this end point to this end point, and there is no this type of zigzag line, that means the end of this component is here only.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Understand?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. And
But
sir,
I
one
want,
another,
yes.
sir,
Tell me.
the rectangular part in the middle, in the center, sir,
Yes, this
here,
part.
yes, sir. Near 32, beside 32, the lines are firm in one side and one side is dotted. I think in the left side it will also be a dotted line.
No,
Sir,
no, no.
the
Why it is
rectangular
not dotted? Yes, this drawing is perfectly perfect. So there is no problem with this line. But why this line is coming later on, I will explain it. Okay.
actually, I thought that it is going in from inside actually.
It is
So,
inside. This line is not for from here to here. This line is not for this third component. It is coming due to the edge of this component. Understand? This component. This edge may be visible when you are taking the front view. That is why this line is coming. So that issue is
okay.
separate. Okay. So from here to here, that line should be there. From your concept, from this point to this point, since it is in section, this line can be visible.
Yes, sir.
But you are
This line,
saying that from here to here, that line should be dotted.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Understand? But the thing is, this line should be there because when we have the full component without section, then this edge can be visible. So this line is coming due to that edge of the component.
Okay, that means the dotted line and the means bold line is coinciding. That's why
Yes,
we are
yes.
considering the
But
C.
in that case, when there are two lines, one dotted line or dashed line, one is your farm line, always you should use the farm line.
Yes, sir, understood.
Also, for this case, here also you may rectify here when we have, suppose we have made this section or half section. So also here you can see the edge. Also here you should put the center line. Now there are two lines. So in between this zigzag line up to this, you should provide one firm line or continuous thick line. From here to here also, you should provide one continuous thick line. Beyond this point or beyond this point, this line should be your center line. Is
Okay,
it
sir.
clear? So
Yes,
later on, one by one, I will try to explain. But my point here is, so we have taken the side view here. So this is the side view. Is there any difficulty to understand this thing? It may be left hand side view or right hand side view. Right? Now how to understand whether it is left hand side view or right hand side view? Can you say whether this side view is left hand side view or whether we have taken the view from left hand side or right hand side?
sir. It is from we have taken the view of left hand side.
All do you agree? Is it left hand side or right hand side?
So I think it's left hand side because we have seen the dash lines from the center, from the inside, and the inside rod is cutted in the left hand side part, and in the right hand side the larger radius was cutted.
Yes, sir. I think the left hand side.
Okay. Is there any person who is telling yes, this is not left hand side, right hand side view? Do you understand this thing or not? This left hand side view? Okay, but when you are taking the left hand side view, that means basically we have taken the left hand side view from this direction, we have taken the view and we have put the projection here. Though in this projection,
Sir, wait for 1 second, please.
yes,
Sir, can you show the figure once more?
yes, yes, this is the figure.
Sir,
Tell me.
1 second. What? Sir, it is a left hand side view. So if it was not a left hand side view, then that the second ring would be at that point that will be dash line, because in
Yes, yes, good.
yeah.
So here, these two lines should be in dashed lines. Okay. Also, for this
Also,
30,
that
yes,
hatch lines, sir, hatch lines direction also is in the from upward to downward. While if we take the right hand view, then it would be from downward, like in the opposite orientation. The
okay,
hatch lines on the
okay.
in the
Also,
middle.
another diameter is not present here. That diameter is basically for this 32. Okay. So one circle should come for this 25. One circle for should come for this 45. Another dashed circle should come for this 32, and also one circle 63 diameter should come. So here in between this,
Between 25 and 45 actually. Yes.
okay, that is 32.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now if I say, so this is left hand side view, it is possible, it is possible to, sorry, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
No, I cannot do it.
The straight line between the two
No, no,
figures.
no, no, no. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, I am doing in a different way. I could not select in that case anyway. Okay. Now tell me if it is possible to represent or place this side view at this position with all these dashed lines and dashed circles. It is possible to place the side view at this position. Yes or no?
Sir, we are considering the left hand side view only, right?
Yes, left hand side view only, because this view is basically when you are taking the view from left hand side. Okay, so is it possible?
So won't it be wrong according to the conventions, like
Why?
for first angle and third
Yes.
angle view? Because sir, if we are considering that the object is in the first quadrant,
Hmm.
then the left hand side view should be on the left of the front view.
So what is first angle?
So
First angle is it that always the object should be in first quadrant,
No, sir,
yes,
not necessarily.
or third angle means the always the object should be in third quadrant? Then only that
No,
will be your
sir.
first angle or
No,
third
sir,
angle.
not necessarily.
So what is the, if I say what is first angle, what should be your answer?
so is the plane of
Basically,
projection.
Yes.
Uh, if the object is between the plane of projection and my view, means the observer.
Okay. So in first angle, that first quadrant is not very much important. Always you should say the relative position of, there are three things: the viewer, the object, and one plane. That plane is transparent plane, imaginary plane. So here you have to say, depending on the relative position of this, one projection may be first in first angle or third angle. The same thing I have made here. Now tell me, is it possible to present this side view, left hand side view at this position? Is it wrong? If it is wrong, why? Please let me know. Freely you may talk and say anything about this. What may be
Sir,
the
just
possibility?
wait for a second. Actually, I'm visualizing the thing in one, means the 3D object in one plane. Actually, a 3D plane.
Okay.
sir, what I meant is it's not dependent on whether the object is placed in the first quadrant. But if you're taking the first angle view, then it should be, the left hand side view should be on the left of the front view.
If we are
If
considering
you're
all the
taking,
conventions in anti-clockwise, if we are considering all the conventions of rotating the planes in anti-clockwise, I think it should always be in the.
Please, 1 minute, please. One person has come. Please,
Yes,
one
sir. Yes.
minute.
এই শোন না, সোহম,
well,
বলছি আমরা যদি অ্যান্টি ক্লকওয়াইজ রোটেট করি প্লেন গুলো, তাহলেই তো তোর ওটা ডান দিকে থাকবে, নাহলে
ওই
তো।
কনভেনশনটা তো বাদ বাদ যাবে না, মানে হঠাৎ করে তোর
হ্যাঁ,
ক্লকওয়াইজ
ওটা
এই
যদি
অ্যান্টি ক্লকওয়াইজটা ক্লকওয়াইজ হয়ে
অ্যান্টি
যাবে না, ওই
ক্লকওয়াইজ যদি
কনভেনশনটা বাদ দেওয়া যাবে না। দ্যাট ইজ
ওটাই মেন আর কি আমার মনে হয়, তো ওটা
না
যদি
না না,
ডান দিকে
সেই
হয়।
কনভেনশনটা কিন্তু তোর সব ড্রয়িং এই সেম থাকবে। তোর ফার্স্ট অ্যাঙ্গেল নিচ্ছিস না থার্ড অ্যাঙ্গেল নিচ্ছিস তার উপর ডিপেন্ড করে রিলেটিভলি পজিশনটা থাকবে বিভিন্ন ভিউ গুলো।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে,
তো
তার
ইফ
মানে
ইউ আর টেকিং ফার্স্ট অ্যাঙ্গেল ভিউ,
Yes,
দেন
sorry.
লেফট হ্যান্ড সাইডেই থাকতে হবে।
Yes,
হ্যাঁ
now
হ্যাঁ।
tell me.
Sir, actually the thing is, the main convention what comes is that if you are means it is a 3D object, now we are projecting this vertical of, means the vertical projection, the horizontal, and the means the left hand or the left hand side projection. Now
Ah,
if we are rotating the plane in anti-clockwise,
hmm.
then always it will be there in the right hand side or in the left hand side. I mean, it cannot change from
Now, what is
one.
the convention? In your orthogonal projection, you have physical two planes, two physical planes.
Yes, sir.
Then you have to make the drawings in your drawing sheet. Then what is the convention? Which plane should be rotated?
Sir, the vertical plane should be fixed and the horizontal plane should be rotated anti-clockwise and
Anti-clockwise or
simultaneously.
clockwise?
Sir, anti-clockwise.
Are you sure?
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. I think I have confused. It's clockwise.
Yes.
We
If
are,
this
yes,
is
sir,
the
it's
plane,
clockwise. If it
We
is
call it
anti-clockwise, then
is
we
first
will not get
quadrant,
any.
second quadrant,
Uh,
third quadrant, and this fourth quadrant,
yes, sir, it will
right?
be clockwise. Yes,
So your view or viewer position should be here.
yes, sir.
Okay. Now this should be placed like this.
Yes,
Okay. Now you tell me whether this placement of this view is correct or wrong.
so similarly, the PV plane will also be rotated in the anti-clockwise direction,
Which one?
and
Which plane?
the profile plane, sir. So which is the
No,
means
but in
left side of
anti-clockwise direction, that is not
oh,
the
not no, sir,
convention.
no, sir, sorry, clockwise, sir. I mean just
Uh,
I just it was tongue
no,
slip of
the
my tongue.
problem is clear to all.
Yes,
What
sir.
I have asked, whether this placement of this view is correct or not, that question is clear to you all.
Yes, sir.
Now, if the question is clear, first tell me, is it possible or not? Is it wrong or is it okay?
So it is okay.
Is it okay? Now tell me,
Yes, sir.
if it is okay, all are agreeing with me? Let me check. Shamadip, is it okay?
Sir, I am a little confused. Actually, I
Okay.
don't.
So you have some confusion, I think. Orindam, are you here?
আমরা তো বুঝতে পারছি না।
আচ্ছা, ব্রতিশ সরকার, দেখো বুঝতে পারছো না সবই ভালো, but you should ask it. I should know that you do not
Until and
understand this
unless
thing.
the until and unless I am means I cannot visualize the thing from my personal side, then I
Uh,
will then only
so
I
it
will
is
say
not
yes.
possible for you.
Yeah, I'm telling that if it is possible, if I can understand it is possible, then only I will say yes, it is possible. Until and
No, no,
unless
no, no, no. Understand your
I will,
point, but the thing is, you have to visualize it.
yes, I am trying to visualize actually.
Yes. Nishant, can you hear me, Nishant? No, you are not there.
Sir, he has a mic problem, I guess.
Mic problem. Raj,
Yes, sir.
do you understand this thing or not?
No, sir.
Question is clear?
So I have some confusions regarding this.
Question is clear, or you have the confusion in the question only?
So confusion in the question only.
Yes, sir, it can be means it can be changed,
No,
but
no.
the
See,
uh,
there are say 16 students in the class. It is very hard to understand everyone. But when you do not understand the things, you should raise your hand at least. Sir, I could not understand it. Without understanding the things, if you do not put your question, then I will assume yes, you do understand. But if you do not understand the things, you should raise your hand. Sir, I do not understand. I should know, yes, there are some students who could not understand the topic or who could not understand the question or the answer what I have discussed. Yes. For that purpose only I am doing this interaction with you. Similar to our physical class, I am doing interaction so that you can do it. You can interact with me. You can clarify the issues regarding this problem. So all the things can be clarified here. Why not? It's very simple thing.
স্যার
Why
ওটা
cannot?
চেঞ্জ হবে যদি ওটা থার্ড অ্যাঙ্গেল আগে থাকতো তাহলে এটা এখন ফার্স্ট অ্যাঙ্গেল প্রজেকশন হয়ে বেসিক্যালি মানে আমি যা বুঝতে পারছি মানে আমরা করতেই পারবো এটা
Yes,
কিন্তু
your point is clear, but your point is okay. So here this can be done. I can put left hand side view here, also here, but if I change the position of this side view from this position to this position, as Swapnil answered, your angle should be different. If it is in first angle, this should be in third angle, or if it is in third angle, this should be first angle. That is the point. Easily we
Sir,
can change the position of it. Yes.
so we can change the position of the view, but once we have defined that we are drawing this object in the third angle view or in the first angle view. After that,
It
so we
is it
cannot
is
say.
it is mentioned anywhere that the drawing has been drawn in third angle or first
No,
angle?
sir, no, sir, no, sir. Absolutely not.
Yes.
But
So
that
when
was
you
my
have
confusion.
you have mentioned the drawing is in first angle, then you have to know from which direction you have to take the view and where you have to place it. Here there is no angle mentioned, and I am asking you whether it is possible or not. So it is possible, but the angle will be different. It will change to first to third or third to first. Now the question is why you do not use second and fourth angle projection?
Sir, the overlapping of the
Yes.
vertical and
So
Oh,
you all should know that why we do not prefer to use second and fourth angle projection. But in your descriptive geometry, there is no first angle or third angle.
yes, sir.
There you can do second angle, fourth angle depending on the position of the lines or points.
Yes, sir.
You agree?
Yes, sir.
But when you are doing these machine drawings, some component drawings, then you have to follow it.
Yeah.
You have to follow first angle, third angle.
So we
Otherwise,
can actually do second angle and fourth angle only if we have rotated the plane in anti-clockwise.
where?
Means if we change the convention from, if we are rotating the horizontal plane in clockwise, if we
Ah.
rotate it in the anti-clockwise, then only we can do the thing.
No, no, no. Always the plane should be rotating in clockwise direction only. That is the convention. You should not rotate in anti-clockwise direction. But the
I'm just
thing is,
possible.
one point may be here, another point may be here, and you have one line in descriptive geometry. Your
Yes, sir.
point may be here, also here, and
Yes,
for
sir.
this line, you can find the true length, all other positions of this, or interaction with another line. Okay, so in
Yes,
descriptive geometry you can do it, but when you are discussing this type of component drawing, then it is not possible to use second and fourth. So we avoid this second and fourth, we use this first and third. Okay, now
okay.
tell me, when we have taken the view from this side and we have presented this view here on the right hand side, whether it is first angle or third angle.
so
The
first
first thing,
angle.
yeah, first thing is
Both angle.
using two views only. Is it possible to say whether it is first angle or third angle?
Sir,
So
one
if
thing
we
in
know
left
which
and I
view is
think,
given, like for example, here we were told that this is the left hand side view, then we can tell.
No, no, no. I did not tell you this is the left hand side view. From this view only you have to understand whether it is left hand or right hand. If I suppose this is right hand side view, then the view is okay, whether this drawing is okay or not. Is it okay? The same thing
Sir,
you
I
will
did
get
not
from
get
the
the
right hand
question.
side
no,
view.
sir, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir.
No, you will
It
not
was
get it.
orientation of H line will be different, and
Hatch line is one. Another
And
thing is
we will get a
that
dotted line
in the
this
disk
line.
will be
Okay, I am changing here from here to here, from this point to this point. Also, from
that
here
will
to
be complete.
this should be thick line,
yes,
because
sir.
when you are taking the projection from this direction, you can see up to this. These components should be visible up to this, right?
Yes, sir,
So,
for this drawing, that is understandable. But if this were a symmetrical object,
huh.
like we cannot tell differentiate between
So
the right hand side view and the left hand side view.
maybe there are always
Yeah.
exceptions.
So
When there
yeah.
are
So if
symmetric objects, then you cannot say. Suppose you have one rod here. Okay, for the rod you have one side view, right? Then it is not possible.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what I was saying. If we did not know which view is which, because
Suppose
once
this
we are
is your
given this
rod.
view, we can tell.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So here also I can put like this. It takes time to do it. Okay, 1 minute. Say this is your component, and you can draw one circle for this. So this circle If you see from right hand side or left hand side, from both the directions, you will get the same thing. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So for that,
Yes.
you may use first angle or third angle. Both are
Yes,
same.
sir.
Views in both angles should be same. But for this component or this object, from these two directions, you will get two different views. Am I right? So this is not your
Yes,
right
sir.
hand side view. Also here, when you are putting this circle for the 63 millimeter dia, this part should be dashed. This part should be dashed lines, using dashed lines. Clear? So that this modification should be done to make it right hand side view. Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is in first angle position. All do you agree with me? Is there any
Yes, sir.
confusion? Raj Rai, do you have
No,
any
sir.
confusion right now?
No, sir.
Please let me know. If you face any problem, please let me know where you could not understand. All
Sir,
should
I
understand. Yes.
so Shankho and Nishant had joined after you have just taken the attendance.
Okay. At the end of the class, also I will take the attendance. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is not the issue. Now the issue is whether do you do understand this thing or not. That is the
Yes,
main thing. May I proceed?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is left hand side view and this is in first angle. Do you agree with me why this is in first angle?
Yes, sir.
Is there any difficulty to understand? This view from here to here, this view in first angle. This view with this side view is in first angle. Is there any difficulty to understand this thing?
No, sir.
No, sir, it's
No.
clear.
Now, what is the symbol we use for first angle projection?
Sir, a parallel trapezium and then right hand side to it a circle and
Okay.
two
Oh, I
circles
okay.
with
Sorry, I need to
concentric
take
circle.
one phone call. 1 minute.
Yes, okay. Astram বলে না ওটাকে?
ফ্রাস্টাম কি বলে প্যারালাল ট্রাপিজিয়াম না ওটা
না, না, না,
আমাদের
ফার্স্ট টার্ম
ফার্স্ট
এটা
টার্ম বলে না,
কনিক্যাল,
ফার্স্ট টার্ম
এটা
বলে না, ফার্স্ট
কনিক্যাল
টার্ম তো
জিনিসটাকে উপর দিয়ে কেটে দিয়েছে। বেসিক্যালি কনিক্যাল জিনিস এটাকে উপর দিয়ে কেটে দিয়েছে। বুঝেছিস? খুব সম্ভবত ফার্স্ট টার্ম বলে। ওটা
হ্যাঁ
কি
মানে ওটা
বাল্ব
একটা কোণের ডেসক্রিপশন করা, বাট
হ্যাঁ,
ওটাকে
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
ও হ্যাঁ 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 ফার্স্ট টার্ম, হ্যাঁ ঠিক 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 ঠিক।
এটা কোন আছে ওটা বেসিক্যালি
ফার্স্টামটা তো থ্রি ডি
Yes.
স্ট্রাকচারটাকে বলে।
ফার্স্ট টার্ম
Yes.
ওটা 3D স্ট্রাকচারটা তার যদি আমি
Yes.
রাইট
This is called first term. Yes, you are right. This is called first term. Okay.
and
So
right
we
side
use this symbol
side.
and we may draw one circle for this, another circle for this. I am doing it freehand, so that is why my circle is not perfect circle. This one is one. I can draw another circle here. Though the center line should be drawn using half of the thick line thickness. So this part or this symbol should be used for first angle, right?
First
Yes, sir.
Is there any difficulty to understand why it is in first angle? Suppose I am making first term like this. Then what should be the symbol for this
So
in
the
first angle? So
angle,
I should
side.
provide, yes.
The concentric circle inside means the inner radius will be dotted.
No,
So
you
for
can do
first,
this, but in our symbol when we use in our drawing, generally we do not use the dashed line. Okay, always you will find the farm lines are there. So what you can do, you can change the position of this side view.
oh yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so you need not to put your side view here only. When you have changed the position of the first term like this, you
Then
change
that
the
will be right
side
hand
view.
side there.
Yes, then you can draw these two circles using thick lines.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? So this one is also first angle. Is there any difficulty to understand this thing? Whether it is first angle or third angle?
No, sir.
In our Viva
সেকেন্ড
also I asked the question.
স্যার সেকেন্ড এই ফার্স্ট টার্মটা কি করে স্যার এটা ফার্স্ট অ্যাঙ্গেল হলো একটুখানি বুঝলাম না
কোনটা
The
গো?
right hand side.
সেকেন্ড
This
যে
one,
আপনি যে ফার্স্ট
this
টার্মের
one,
ওরিয়েন্টেশনটা ঘুরিয়ে
this
দিলেন
one.
হ্যাঁ স্যার ইয়েস স্যার
Okay. So here you find from which direction we have taken the projection. So I have taken the projection from this direction. Right? For this first angle, I have taken the projection from this direction. Am I right? And where I have placed the side view in my drawing, that is vital. If I put from this direction, from left hand side, sorry, from right hand side, I have taken the projection and I have placed it here away from the viewer. So this is the position of the viewer. I have placed the side view here away from the viewer, so that will be your first angle. But in
that means sir you have in the then now in the profile plane the side view is coming
yes,
and
you may talk
in
about
the
the
front
plane.
view the concentric circles are coming.
No, side view always should come in your profile plane only.
Are
Your
you sure?
side view always should come in the profile plane only.
Means now the side view has changed. Now it is a first term. Yes, sir, I have understood.
See, in different direction, different ways we can take the projection, but it
Yes,
should
sir.
be clear to you. Yes, from any direction, if I take it, what should be the angle? What is first angle or third angle? Here, for this case, I have taken the projection from this direction. If I place it, place the projection here. At this position, then that should be your third angle. Because I have placed that side view towards the viewer. Here also you find this is a viewer position. Viewer is taking the view from left hand side. I have placed the position of this side view in left hand side only towards the viewer. That is why this part, I change the color here. Can you see the green color?
Yes, sir.
So this should be your third angle projection. Here also, this should be your third angle. Now, up to this, please let me know, do you have any question, any confusion? In these two, this third angle or this third angle, there is no difference. Both have been drawn using third angle convention. Please let me know, is there any difficulty to understand this thing?
No, sir, it's okay. So basically, in
Yes,
the
I know.
previous red one diagram, you have shown us the left hand side view, and in the blue one, you are showing us the right hand side view of
Yes. Okay. But you should be confident. Yes, when I have taken the projection from this side or left hand side or right hand side, what should be the angle? First angle or third angle? This idea, this concept should be clear. Now, in my class, is there any student who does not understand this thing? Please let me know. If you do not ask, then it is very hard to understand the things from my side, whether you have understood or not. Any student? So you may use this symbol or this symbol. You may change the first term. You can change the side view, and you can make first angle or third angle projection symbol. So always in your drawing, you should put the symbol you have used. Okay, so up to this, do you have any question?
No, sir.
No. So next thing. So you have been given one drawing. So this part is not there.
So which part?
This one, the left hand side view is not there.
Okay.
Left hand side view placed in this position. I cannot do it right now. Anyway. So okay, so this is the drawing provided to you. Now from here, you have already identified that there are three components. Now if I ask you to make the drawings, simple ortho projection of these three components, is it possible or not?
Separately, sir?
Yes, separately.
Yes, sir.
There are three components. So is it possible to draw two views for each component
Yes, sir, it's possible.
with dimension?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to do right now? Use your pen, your rough sketch. Okay,
So
can you do
now,
it? Yes, is it possible?
Yes,
How much
sir.
time it will take?
The rough sketch, no?
Rough sketch.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have
I
to
want
show.
to see the understanding, whether
Okay.
you do understand or not. Later on, you have to draw using your, say, proper drawing instruments. But can you try to make the sketch, rough sketch of these three components, and take two views, and you use normal ortho projection without the concept of section?
Okay, sir.
Possible?
Yes, sir. It's wait for a second, actually.
Okay.
So we are drawing very roughly actually now.
Okay, no problem. Should I share this? No, already I have shared the
Yes,
document.
it,
So in that document, this drawing is there. In PDF format, this document is there. This figure is there.
so can you show the thing? Actually, it is
Okay,
very
okay, okay, no problem.
okay.
All should try. I want to see what you have understood from this.
So do I have to show the dimensions now? Because
Rough dimension you can show at least 1-2 dimensions so that at least I can understand from where you have taken it.
okay, sir, wait.
Hey, should we draw an orthographically or just the structures and nature?
No, orthographic projection. Two views should be there.
Okay.
Hmm?
Uh, Sir, this is the long one.
Yes, you just rotate it.
Rotate it, okay, sir. Okay,
Yes,
sir, wait.
yes, like this. Okay, fine. This
And
part is okay, more or
and the
less okay.
front one from the left side, the part which is coming first
No,
is
no, no. For this, you have drawn say 40. Where you have written 45, I think. Both sides there should be two lines. Why two lines should be there when you are making this drawing without section? When you are putting it in section, then there should be no lines, single material. But when you are taking this orthogonal projection, that is why I asked you to make it. Two lines should be there because two edges should be visible.
so
You
which
understand
two,
my point?
sir, which two edges?
Okay, I need to show then. 1 minute. Okay,
So
here
which
you
edge?
see. Uh, please all see here. When you are making this orthogonal projection of this left hand side component, okay, then what we have to draw? So I should start from this, say this point. It should come like this. It should
Hmm.
go like this, like this. So it should come up to this. Again. So when I am making the drawing separately for this left hand side component. But the thing is, here this drawing is wrong. Why? Because this part you see extended material is there. Okay. Now when this thing is circular, this part is basically, if you see this view, there is one circle. So this is basically one cylindrical object with one thickness say 12 millimeter. Understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
this edge should be visible from this point to this point, this point to this point.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Similarly, when
yes,
you
sir.
make the drawing for the socket part, you need
Yes, sir.
to
That was
consider that thing. That is the reason some person has asked earlier why we should put this edge, so that regionally, for that regionally, we have to make one farm line for this.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
this should be the projection view for this left hand side component. Also, at this position for this left hand side component, you have to put this dashed line. Here also you need to put the dashed line to show that there is a slot which will accommodate this third component. Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now your task will be to make the individual component drawing of this joint. In our next class, we may discuss the details of this thing, but from your engineering drawing class only, you should do up to this, the individual drawing of this component. Is it possible?
Yes, sir. Means in
Assignment is clear to you?
A3 sheet, right?
A3 sheet. At least you have to use A3 sheet. If you use A2 sheet, I have no problem.
Okay, sir.
But A3 sheet is okay. Now
And
what
sir,
you have to do? So you have to draw individual component drawing. So that is why we call it detailed drawing or component drawing. Okay. So here what you are doing basically, from this assembly drawing of the socket and spigot joint, we are taking out the individual component, and for this individual component we are trying to draw the projection view. So this type of drawing is called detailed drawing or component drawing. Clear?
yes,
The
sir.
drawing shown to you right now, this is called assembly drawing or assembled drawing. So in your class, sometimes we will provide the assembly drawing, you need to make the detailed drawing, or detailed drawing will be provided to you, you have to make the assembly drawing of that. Also there is another type of drawing that is called GA or general arrangement drawing, where we need to provide the basic information by which we can install the machine or install the component, where we will put the overall dimensions, not the internal or detailed dimensions are required. Overall dimensions are necessary, and the weight information, all this type of information should be provided, by which we can prepare the site where we will install the component. We can do the basic arrangement to install the component. So for different components, suppose you want to install one pump. So for the pump, there are different components. Say there are 20 components in the pump. So for all these 20 components or internal components need not to be dimensioned, but only the overall dimensions should be provided, so that easily we can make the site where we want to install the pump. Okay. So for that reason, GA or general arrangement drawing is important. So sometimes in the industries, they prepare the general arrangement drawing also after doing the assembly of the components. So from the detailed drawing, we can make the assembly drawing. From the assembly drawing, we can make the detailed drawing. From also the assembly drawing, we may prepare the general arrangement drawing. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So what will be your task? So up to this, is there any confusion, any difficulty to understand?
Sir, two things I want to ask.
Yes.
First one is that in the right hand cylindrical part, the last one, the 32 dimension that your mouse cursor was.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
after the blue line, there is another part which we can see in the farm line in the section 1. So that is the
1 minute. So for right hand side component, this part should be coming like this. So there is one hole. So hole is coming up to this.
Okay, okay. That's the part of the hole.
Yes.
That is
So there
the
is no material for the right hand side component. Understand?
Okay, okay, understand, sir. So then there will be lines there also.
Uh-huh.
So then
that means
there must be some hatch lines also. Other or else how can we understand there?
At this position?
Yes, sir.
No, because since there is no material, we could not put the hatch line. That is basically the clearance or the clearance or gap.
So
The
it is
gap.
totally gap, means there is
Yes.
nothing. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Then okay, okay.
Suppose you basically this is one component. Inside this we have to put this component, left hand side component. So there should not be any material inside this hole. Otherwise it will
I
foul
thought
with
it
that
was a
material.
hollow cylinder type something. I thought
No,
the
no.
overall part,
Yes,
the
hollow
larger one
cylinder
was a
type
hollow
this
cylinder.
one.
Yes, sir. I thought
This
that.
thickness is here, thickness you will find the here at this position. But at this position there is no material. Inside this you have to put this left hand side component. You have to align the position of the hole. Then you have to pour this third component. So when you will draw this individual component of this right hand side component, so there you need to provide this type of hole. But if you do not use the section, then this line is not possible to see. You need to provide or need to draw using dashed line. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Because internal hole cannot be seen, but you have to represent that hole in your drawing. So that is why this line should be in dashed line. If you put in section or half section or full section, then you can see.
Sir,
so sir, there will be a socket and then there will be the spigot
Yes.
that will be inserted, and then from over the top the cotter will be inserted.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I am not discussing the details of this joint, how you have to assemble or other things. But thing is, from the engineering drawing concept, basically I want to see whether you can do it or not.
My sir,
Nothing
we
is
have to
there.
like from this drawing that you have provided, we have to like open up the entire.
Yes, you have to make the detailed drawing of this component.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. It's
From
okay.
the drawing, you have to understand, you have to read the drawing, you need to find the dimensions, and from there you need to draw the individual component. You need to consider individual component. For the individual component, you need to draw at least two views. Now question is, sir, why should we make two views? Why it is not three view? Now
Yeah, we can
these
get
two
the
views or
third.
three views or multiple views are required based on the component itself. Suppose you have one cylindrical object, say rod or shaft. Then in one single view, you can show the all related information, or you may communicate fully. Now, for some components, suppose this one, with single view, it is not possible to show all the details there. So that is why you need to provide the second view. Sometimes for different objects, two views are not sufficient. At that time, you need to use another view or more views. Okay, so you have to understand how many views are required to communicate the ideas, communicate the information. Also, section. For section, whether we should use full section or half section. Here also the concept is, if it is mentioned in the question paper, you have to make full section or half section, that is separate issue. But if nothing is mentioned there, then for the symmetric object, when the object is symmetric, for that easily you may use half section. It is not required to go for full section. Okay, when object is not symmetric, then you have to go for full section. Then half section is not sufficient enough. But in the question paper for the semester examination, or the question in the question, though you do not have the semester examination for this subject, but for examination purpose, If it is asked you to make the drawing in full section or half section, in your assignments also, if it is asked to make the drawing in full section or half section, then you have to follow. Otherwise, you may take the decision in which section you will make the drawing. Understand? Now
Yes.
your task will be to make the individual component drawing. This assignment is clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you will do? So you have one drawing sheet. So in the drawing sheet, sorry, in the drawing sheet, you have the, say, edge of the drawing sheet. Okay. Now there you should provide the margin. So here the second rectangle is for the margin. Now you have to make the nameplate or title block. So in the title block, the information, at least you should incorporate your name, sorry, name, roll number, section, department, title of the drawing, scale you used for the drawing, projection symbol. I am writing here using projection symbol, but you need to incorporate that symbol for first angle or third angle you have used for the drawing purpose. Then date of submission. Okay. So at least this information should be incorporated in your title or nameplate.
The title?
Title is there.
No, sir. I'm telling what will be the title of this.
Okay. So for the title, you do not write right now. In our next class, we'll discuss the topic. At that time, I will mention what should be the title for this, and after that, you have to submit. And always, since we have to submit these things in your Google assignment form, so you should write all the things, your name, roll number, section, department, title, all the things using your blue color ball pen. Okay, blue ball pen. Now another thing should be written. So here you can draw one, number 2 component, say number 3 component here. Another information should be provided in your drawing. That is called parts list. In the parts list, what we basically do, we start from the bottom. Okay. One is serial number. Number 2 is component. Number 3 is number of, basically the quantity, material, and specification if any. And then for this, say there are 3 components, I will mark like this: one
inverted index, like
3, and we'll write the name of the component, quantity, number of, basically quantity, how many components are there, material for this material component, and specification if any. For all the components, it is not possible to specify, but for some components we may specify. So at least you should incorporate, or you have to incorporate one table there. The position of the table is not fixed. Wherever you have the space, you can place that table there. So in our next class, we will discuss about the drawing, the fundamental things about this join, and then will let you know what is the material or what material should be used for these components. After that, you will prepare this table and you need to submit it in your Google Classroom. So right now, what you can do, you may start the drawing. You may draw at least 2 views for each component. You can also complete the nameplate without the title of the drawing. Okay. You may also make the table, but you cannot complete the table there because you do not know the material and all other things. Number of you know already. So that way you can prepare this thing. In our next class, we will discuss it. After that, we will upload the drawing. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you will
Yes.
get at least 1 week time to complete this thing. So from today, you may start the drawing. Probably you have the drawing. If you do not have the drawing, I can create the assignment there. Okay. So
Yes.
you start to make the drawings.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And
Now
sir,
you
another
yes.
thing, if we are if we are completed or we have some doubts about the drawing,
Hmm.
so where should we ask you
Uh,
so,
you can
or
you have
or
probably you have
to
my
for the
mobile number. You may
yes, sir.
send. You have the mobile number, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all
So in that mobile number, you can message immediately. I may not respond, but I will try to respond as early as possible.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, any question?
Sir, the details you told us to provide in the title block,
Ah,
will you do it in like each box for one thing? I mean,
no,
we used to do title blocks in ED, and that was like there were specified things to
no,
write.
that thing is not required at all. In your ED, probably you have incorporated, say, drawn by, checked by, like this.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
Oh, so that thing is not required. Okay.
Okay.
So you can make one simple title block. Using that only you can do it. But if you want to make that title block, I have no issue. But this information should be there.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir,
Okay,
then
as you wish.
we can make our title according to our wish. Means the
Yes, yes.
format.
But you should follow the standard. We follow Indian standard. Okay, so you should follow the Indian standard. In Indian standard, the length from here to here should not be greater than 180 millimeter, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should follow it, follow the instruction,
Yes,
and
sir. That
you can make
overall
it.
outer box will be okay. Means the inner box where we will write the things that will be up to us, right? Means
Yes,
because
you may change it, but this information, what I have told, this information should be there in your title block.
okay, sir.
If we
No.
make one simple title block using this information, I have no problem. Okay, so drawn by, checked by, all other things you may omit or you may not use, but this information should be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And say a drawing number or that.
drawing number. Yes, you may also put the drawing number also.
Okay, sir.
For my class, probably 8, 9, or 10 assignments will be there. You may put drawing number. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We will.
Okay. So drawing number before date, you can put drawing